live for live stream 346. Sorry about that, just a bit distracted sending an email, and I've decided to use the Fibonacci from the pretty much from the day, the pre-market. And what I'm hoping to do here is just look to take about 10-ish points. Let's talk about the markets today. So today, the markets have been in a pretty narrow range. Currently, the range on NQ is 105.25 points. So a very narrow range. Over on gold, we're seeing at $69. So there's a lot more volatility on gold. Over on ES, we're looking at 22.75. Now, this week, we do have a fair bit of news on the economic calendar. We do have core inflation on Tuesday, PPIs on Thursday, retail sales, and Michigan consumer sentiment on Friday. So do expect there to be market movers. Seems like this trade here is not quite going in my favor. I'm just going to take it off and just wait for it to set back up. So starting the day off not that well here, but we'll see. We'll certainly see. Market is choppy in a bit of a range, so I've got to be careful of that. Although, let's see. I'll buy off this level here. Let's see, I'll buy here. Why is this not? There we go. I'll buy there. Stop down there. Where did we originally get in? 33.75. 44.25. Let's see. Market wants to come into these lows and find buyers and then return to the upside. Want to be involved here. So we've been triggered in. Let's see if we further add to the losses or if the market turns around and retests the highs. Thought about using the range that I used on Friday, but I think it might be a bit too narrow. So let's see if this plays out as a bit of a range because the volatility is quite low. Because as I've said before, current high to low range on the market so far today, we're only looking at about 105 points. So let's see if this would like to go back up to that 44.25. Overall, we can see that we're pretty much just hanging around the point of control. Oh, there we go. The point of control is up there, so getting away from it. Who knows? Maybe the market wants to come down to this area where we didn't put in a lot of volume. We'll see. We'll certainly see. So I'll just go into a bit of a waiting mode here. So I'm in at 20. And we're seeing price reject that midpoint there. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can get back out if it gets back to that midpoint up around the 33s. So we can see I took the profits there back at the midpoint. I didn't allow it to get all the way up to the, I think it was 44.25. That was the original target. We can see we've gone beyond that 44.25. Also thought about getting back in here around the 40s and try to take it up close to the 50s, and that would have worked as well. Even if I would have got in, let's say I got in at the highs of this candle here at 42s, that would have certainly worked as well. Certainly would have worked as well. So I just got to stay patient here. I am only going to be focusing on, I suppose I could focus on more than one instrument, but there's a lot of problems that could come with it. Let's see. How do you remove indicators? And remove indicators. Let's see. I wonder if today is a day that I could let's see. You see, taking trades over on gold is going to be, hold on, I got to do something else. Hold on. So let's mark up these charts here. Let's see. We need to get electronic trading hours on here. Electronic trading hours. We also need all these indicators, so apply indicators to entire layout. Okay. Looks a bit messy. Well, we're at the chart, so we're not going to be back soon. Let's see. Where's the lowest low? I know where the lowest low is. And the highest high. It's right there. Let's lock that into place. Okay. Seems ES was more bearish today. We know that our friends over at gold were incredibly bearish today. Probably better off using like a 15-minute chart to get this correct, due to the level of volatility at play. So this is Sunday night, the highs are there. Pre-market lows is right there. Let's lock that into place. Problem I'm gonna have is shorting near the lower day on gold. We're looking at a market that has moved 69.2 from the highs. So taking shorts in towards the lows is going to be very problematic. Okay, this short would have worked over here. This did not work. So it's a little bit problematic. Seeing a continued move to the upside. Let's see. What should I do? Let's still target 27s. So I picked up 27 out of possibly 48. So definitely left 10 on the table. Where could I pick up 10? So over on ES, we can see here, revisited and took out the lows from the overnight that took place in the European session around about 4 a.m. Eastern. And we've seen the market move up. So came down, took out the lows, seen the market move up, moving through 50% of the daily range. Seem rather comfortable up here. Is this market going to go to 73? It's making me thinking it will. But is that chasing the market? Let's see. If we can pick up the 73. Oh my word. It's going to do it without me. Golly, it's going to do it without me. Should have been quicker, my friend. So we're at 67.50. Looking to get in at 63. Seeing if I can get the move up to the next level here. Do have the risk of it false breaking out above these highs. And slamming back to the downside. There is that risk. I took the trade, so I've got to accept the risk now. Got to accept the risk. Can still get out, but I'm going to take the risk. So it would be an appropriate place for a stop. Probably right there. And let's scale out. So let's sell. If it keeps coming down. So if it breaks out, great. If it keeps coming down, then we'll scale out. Doesn't seem like it's breaking out, does it? This is what FOMO will do to you. Look at the market conditions. We're in a pretty tight range. And you're trying to play a breakout. Is that the best use of your capital? Is that the best use of your capital? Breakout or bailout, right? You know what? Let's adjust. Let's be aggressive with the stop. If it's going to break out, it's going to break out. If it's going to come back, then we don't want no part of it. Considering the market conditions, we're looking at a market that's in a pretty narrow range. So if it's going to false break, this is definitely the kind of conditions I will do that in. Current range is still only 105.25 points. Definitely thinking about being even more aggressive with this stop here. I'm going to be even more aggressive. Just due to the fact that we are in a very tight range in the market. Is that just being ridiculous now? Okay. Alright, let's put it there for now. Let's see if we can risk 6 and pick up 20. Like I said, I'm looking for a breakout. And if it's not going to comply, it's going to come back down. I don't want any part of it. Hanging around break even on the day. See, there's just too much happening here. I'm just going to risk that. If it comes down, take a small loss, reset, wait for another setup. Okay, so it's just hit 11. So that's what, 9 away? Let's see. Let's see if we can break 69.25. I'm going to be even more aggressive with this stop here. You know what? I'm just going to take it off. No, that's going to mess up my average. Let's put it there. No, it looks too much like a false break, isn't it? No, that looks too false. Looks too false to me. What did I take out there? Small break even. It ran up there, retested the highs from this candle. Came back quite a bit. From the 64s, from the 69s all the way back to 64. It's only 5 points, but it was aggressive entry regardless. Oh my word. Oh my word. Gosh. Oh my gosh. While I'm messing around over here. Golly. While I'm messing around over there, like I'm missing out on this over here. On gold. Golly. And imagine if the NQ goes and works now. Talk about chasing your tail. Oh my word. It's going to get to the 73s, isn't it? Could you imagine? 63s. You know what? Let's see if we can get in. Oh my gosh, he's gone to receive 73. He's gone through the 73s, so trade up on the 76s. Goodness me. Convinced myself to get out. And look at that. Even that small risk of the 1500 would have been enough. Golly. Could have picked up 20. And over here. So that's the entry. And that would have picked up 20. Golly. Okay. Okay. Now's not the time to be overly disappointed. It certainly is not the time. Maybe only picking up 8 today. Hold on, we threw higher day on NQ. We may want to attack higher day over on ES. Higher day is up at 29.50. I'm going to try and take 27. 29.50. So I'm going to play a bit of a FOMO trade, let's be honest. I'm going to look for NQ to get the ES to get up. Yep, there we go. Attack its higher day. Golly. And that's because we've seen this strong move through the higher day on NQ, so. Okay, so we are almost up 20 on the day. Up about 19. Making a bit of a drama of this. So next up we're looking at is around at 825 on NQ. Don't like the colors on this here. I wonder if I can do something about that. Is the color too strong? Doesn't seem to make any difference, does it? Not making any difference. Seems the play here was... See, that would have been a better play. So even though this didn't work, this clearly did. No setups here. Setup here. I suppose that did work. Hold on a second here. Even the loss I took was a mistake. Even the loss I took here is a mistake. Because this long did not hit the stop. I would have hit his target. So it would have been what, 48, no, 20, 40. So just a been up about 40. That's where I should be if I didn't intervene where I shouldn't have. So now we're already at 801, looking for that 825.50. Certainly feel tempted to get involved, but I don't want to do that. I'm really not trying to chase this market around. Looking at the 6440s. Let's have a look at these 5-minute charts. All-time highs. We're trading all-time highs. Yeah, no shorts, my friend. We're trading all-time highs on all instruments, so we're definitely trading all-time highs on NQ. Let's have a look at our friends over at ES. Not quite. Not quite all-time highs on ES. And we've seen the difficulties we've been having on gold. Had major selling on Friday. So from this huge, likely news-related candle on Friday to the lows of today, down about $89. This is quite a fair bit of volatility over on our friends at gold. Seeing the market come back in here. Coming back inside the range on ES. Seeing the buying here on gold right inside of the screen. I wonder. Would we get a long on gold today? Huh, not with this level of volatility. I guess the only shop in town is the ES and the NQ. Hold on, I'm sure I got an ES. So, oh, there it is. So we had a bit of a range expansion over there on our friends at NQ. Likewise on ES. Current range is 136.75. Previously was 105.25. High to low range on the day on NQ. From around 22 on ES, we're up to 24.75. So it does seem that ES is a bit more restrained. So imagine what we're seeing on ES is we came in, took out the pre-market lows, rallied to the upside. Now we've taken out the pre-market highs, seen a bit of a pullback. So NQ is playing the previous day range, not the previous day range, the current day's range, the lows and the highs. I really should be thinking about one of the changes we made, of course, is reduce our size a bit down to only 100 contracts rather than the previous 150. Reason we've done that is we do anticipate having much larger stops with this current strategy. I suppose I could write the strategy down on the chart. Don't I have it on this chart? I have it on another chart, I think. Wow. Seek power. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So we need a turnaround over on goals here. Possibly look for a short. So it feels like this wants to go down to 24.25. So this is going to be a typically problematic setup over here on gold, where the market sold off so much. We're looking at a 69.2. You get a setup to go short, and the market is in retracement mode. It's decided that it's putting it low for the day. You get in, start shorting it, and that's when the market decides to exploit higher. I've got a decision to make here. I'm going to take it. Let's see. Let's Let's see. What was the designed target here? Where do we get in? So let's think about this. That's where the design design target is. And there we go. There's a stop. Not confident at all, but if that's what the setup is, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hold on, how did I come up with that stop actually? Hold on a second here. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. You know what? Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that for the moment. And let's see. About 50% of the way to target. Let's try and scale out a bit here. Just reduce the size of the risk on the table if it decides to go up. Seems pretty solid. 26. Maybe do the 41. Maybe. Yeah, we'll go with the 41. Let's go with the 1-to-1 with a scale out towards stop. Then again, that 35 would work pretty. Let's do the 35. Seeing gold move down here. Is my luck about to change? You never know. Could get a double bottom down here and have the market just rally all the way up to the stop, but we'll see. We'll certainly see. We'll certainly see. So these are the lows from around about 12:07 Eastern. Let's see if we can take those out into this high volume area possibly. So we've got the target down at 04, so around 4042s. Let's put an alert down there. Let's see. We're below the point of control. So trading the edge of the profile. Need probably a big breakdown with some volatility. If we come down here and stall, then increases the possibility of a double bottom, turning around, clearing the highs, rallying, probably taking out the 18s. Who knows? Unfortunately, see some buyers already. Seeing buyers already. I'll stick with the plan now. Certainly could take 50% of it off here. Bank about 10, but I'm gonna try and pick up this 35 here. On gold on the right hand side of the screen. Want to see a big break through the 405s. Then a rush down to that 404. There we go. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. There we go. Want to be like a waterfall here. Don't want to see buyers. Don't want to see buyers. Do not want to see the 405 4 tested. Don't want to see this 405 4 tested. Let's put an alert over there. There we go. There we go. Should get to target. Come on. Let's not mess around now. We've got as low as 404.2. Oh my gosh. We got down to the target. We've just not been filled. You gotta be kidding me. Come on. Let's not do that. 404.3s. Let's get filled here. Come on. 404.3s. 404.4s. Come on. Let's not mess around. There we go. Alert's been triggered. Target's not been hit. Come on. There we go. Cancel this order. So, let's see where we are. So, it's saying I'm only down 25, starting minus 78. Interesting. Very interesting. So, I'm up 53 on the day. Okay. Round about 53. Round about 53. Let's see. Account history. Wow. Okay, that's solid selling. Hmm. I should. I should clarify this. So let's move this over a bit. So we got through that 24.25, came back in through the 73s, seeing a continuation to the downside on gold here. I think I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to call it a day because it's pretty much because I've been neglecting other areas away from trading. Although, it's going to be a while before anything sets up, so. Oh my word, I've just realized that I've just realized my scroll banner's been hidden. Goodness me. Goodness me. Wow, look at that move to the downside on our friends at gold. Here I was thinking we'll just continue. Wonder if we're going to get a full rotation over here. Hold on. Oh, that would mean it doesn't work. Hmm. 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 I'm just going to call it a day here. It seems it's going to be a while before these instruments set back up. The next instrument likely to set up would be maybe gold, but we're pretty close to that 90 minutes before close, around about at 2:30 Eastern on the gold market. And over on NQ and ES, a little bit away from setting back up at the moment with the level of volatility we're currently seeing. So I'm going to call it a day here. We can see that it is a bit of a shorter day, but if I was to say have a look at the account, we go around about that 50 mark, maybe around 53. We can see day didn't start out well, lost 19, positive from there. Is I cut the loss early, but I shouldn't have cut the loss. I should have allowed the trade to play itself out. But regardless, we took a loss. Had a win, could have been a bigger win. Had a break even, which should have been a win. And had a bit of a FOMO chase there and a classic setup right there. So today wasn't without its issues, but the market was a lot more forgiving in terms of price action. So with that said, thanks for watching. Good luck trading. Have a great day.